Okay, so Season 1 of the Yugioh Go Rush anime series introduced so many amazing characters. And I thought in this video I'll give you my thoughts and opinions by ranking the characters from Season 1 of Yugioh Go Rush. Let's get started. But before we do, let me know your favourite characters in the comments down below. Without further ado, it's Asaka. And I'm putting her in okay. The reason being is she hasn't done anything to wow me completely, but she hasn't done anything super terrible. So for now, she's just alright. And I'm intrigued just to see what she'll do moving forward. Next up is the balance guy, and considering the fact is I can't remember his name, symbolizes I just don't care / like him. Next up, we have this character. Now, she's been a mystery since the very beginning, and I love that intrigue. So I love her to get some development so that we can start learning more about the character and seeing her in action. And hopefully, she'll then go up into like the best or the really good tier. Next up is the TV crew. And honestly, they've just been okay. They've just been there. Nothing serious, nothing bad, just there. Next up, we've got a character that might surprise a few, but I actually don't like Dinosaur. Or if that's his name. Anyway, it's just a character that when it was introduced, I just didn't really connect with. And while seeing the character in action just hasn't clicked for me yet. So we're leaving it in I don't care / like. Next up, my surprise a few is Jupitaro. Considering I haven't actually watched episode 3 yet, sorry, haven't got around to it. But at the same time, Jupitaro's character is one that fluctuates for me a lot. I go from disliking his actions to liking him as character a lot. So I'm going to put him in the okay category. Next up is Dinosaur. Dinosaur is a really good character, simply because we've watched him grow from the Earthdemar, speculated and kind of theorized on what the Earthdemar is, how it came to be, and what is going to happen with it in the future. And all the things we've seen happen with the Earthdemar have been amazing. And the fact that we get to see that Earthdemar grow, learn, progress, and develop into Dinosaur that we know now has just been wonderful to see, and I like that. So I put him in really good, and hopefully we see more from Dinosaur moving forward. Next up is the Jersey Devils, and I really don't like them. The best thing about it was the Blackluster Soldier reference, but the 3 characters altogether were just nothing. Next up is Bonchi, and Bonchi is another character I really don't want to see again, but I know we're going to have to, so it is what it is. Next up is Kawitel, and Kawitel is going to go in the okay category. Still nothing spectacular, but I feel like we can still get some more interesting lore and exposition from his character, because that seems to be the way that using Kawitel at the minute is for him to find out the knowledge and then present it to us as the viewer. Next up, we got Kirishima London, and I still think we've got a bit more development to go with London. At the minute, I don't think he's necessarily a great character or a bad character, but I feel like he can develop more, and with that development, he can become better. Next up, might surprise a few, considering in my 7's tier list, I wasn't very good with Luke. The Luke is in the best tier. I just loved everything about the Great King of Terror arc when it came to presenting the Luke's character. I felt sorry for the Luke when he was being fed all this lies and pain, and was having that cry of power exerting him. I actually really do like the Luke's character, and honestly, I want to see him back again and again. So, put him in the best tier. Next up, we got the Dinosaur. And I don't think we're going to see the Dinosaur again. Hopefully we don't, really. I'm not going to be too upset if we do, but he's going to go in I don't care / like. Next up is Manabu, and Manabu is going into the really good tier. He's a great character all around, has some amazing looking designed monsters, which really helps as well. The only things I don't like is the whole chemistry meow thing he has going on, but his character has actually made me overcome that dislike of the character and made me see the positives in him that make me really like him and see him as a good character. Next up, we've got another entry in the best, and it's Mania Itachi. Now, granted, she has fallen off the wagon a little bit, but Mania is still Mania, and that's all that matters. She's still amazing. Next up, we got Meek-chan. Now, I put her in here because she does technically gain some form of personality, and honestly, that personality we did get to see was kind of fun and enjoyable and entertaining. Next up, we've got Mitsuki, and I'm putting her in really good. I actually found myself really liking this character off the bat. Amazing design, really cool deck archetype, great sort of display of emotion, and honestly, let's see more of her. Let's keep the ball rolling with the character, and I really want to see what other interactions she has with Yugioh moving forward, especially after the realization that she came to of being abandoned by him in Season 1. Next up, we got Mayuda, and Mayuda is, gonna go there. Again, another character brought in under Yugioh's thumb, and really did thrive and do cool things, but at the same time, didn't really do all that much. Like, I like the whole manipulation and the soft-spoken words that he can use and trans people with. I find that quite fascinating, but at the same time, there's still more we can use the character for in the future. Next up, we've got, what's his name? If I can't remember the name, then he's got to go down here. But I know his name does refer to light and darkness. I just can't remember the name. Oopsie. Next up, we got Ninja. And I'm sorry. I started off kind of liking the fact that his indecisiveness was a good thing, because it gave the character and the race that he belongs to a bit of uniqueness. But then it dragged on and on and on and on and on. And honestly, it got tedious, boring, and repetitive, and I just don't like it. He's got a cool design, and I want to like his character, but as you can see, I don't think I made the review where he finished off the duel against Julius, and that's simply because I just did not care about the character enough to warrant it. Sorry. Next up, we've got another character I honestly can't remember the name of, but he did do a Yuhi. And that's where we first saw the flip coin effect for the dinosaur. Menjiro. Yeah. I quite like the ninja character. I don't like his design for Season 2, but we're not talking about Season 2. But he was still interesting. Next up, we got Neanderstar. And, yeah. What's not to love about Neanderstar? Especially when she went into a human form, it was surprising, but in a good way. Next up, we've got the Star Providence. Now, this is a character that needs development fast. Being a Nail variant, we all expect him to have some amazing dueling ability and skill, and some great sort of insight and knowledge and smarts, but we never got to see that. But now that we know Maxims are coming back for Season 2, and him being a Nail variant, I'm hoping he does come back and somehow he ends up using a maximum and kind of shows us what the character potential always had. That was a bad sentence, but you know what I mean. Next up, we got Ranran. And Ranran is a character I absolutely love and adore. She's crazy, over the top, she's funny, bit gaga, but at the same time, she does remind me a lot of Franze, and I really like Franze's character, but she does still have her own uniqueness to her, and we have seen her grow and develop and kind of mature as the series has gone on. I was only thinking about putting 5 people in the best, though. Yeah. Sorry, Ranran. Really good. You'll see why later. Next up, we got Rovian. And Rovian, I'm going to put in really good. She started off really strong as a great character. Her weird phrases do kind of make my mind hurt a little bit when trying to decipher what they mean. But seeing the young version of Rovian was adorable. Seeing her dueling skills, her monsters are incredible. The character herself is wild and free. And I like the kind of hair color change gimmick she has with her going on. And all around, just a fantastic and enjoyable character that I just like seeing time and time again. Still not quite able to be put into the best, though. Next up, we have... Oh, I know I'm breaking the rules slightly because I can't remember his name, but he's the dragon eater. The one that do with Yuhi with the Buster Blader monster. Basically, this guy needs development simply because I need to know if he's still alive. Like, I want to see if he's okay and found some fuel to eat. But at the same time, I think if he does end up coming back, it will still be really enjoyable, and we can still learn more about his race and get a bit more exposition and learn a bit more how the fossils of dragons help people go into faster and faster light speed. Okay, so we got the countrymen of Volagir, and yeah, they've been okay. They've been supportive. They've been fun. They've been helpful. Fisher Sky is going to go in okay as well. Again, we still haven't had too much from him, but what we have had, I think, is enough, and he's just really cool looking at the end of the day. Next up, we got UTS, and I'm putting them at the bottom of really good. I love their supportive nature. I love how they all come together to help the twins and Yugioh and just show that no matter what, they're going to be there. Yes, they're going to be stern and strict at times, but they're like the parental figure that we never get to see in a Yu-Gi-Oh series. Well, we do see parents in Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit, but they don't really interact too much. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we had Grandpa, we had no one from Jaden's family. No one from Yusei's family. We had Yuma's family. We had a few parents, alright? You get what I mean. Next up, we got the Star Yeti, and again, don't want to see him. Now then, we've got Yuumu. And Yuumu might actually change slightly in a minute, but at the minute, I'm really liking Yuumu's character. Yes, she's cooling off a little bit towards the end of the season, but she had a very strong start. She has some fun and enjoyable duels, and all around, I can't wait to see what we see from her moving forward. Also, I just really like her design. Next up, I'm going to put Yugioh at the top of really good. Now, there might actually be a swap by the end of the video, but at the minute, I'm thinking Yugioh is going in the top of really good because I'm only putting 5 people in the best. And Yugioh is slowly becoming a really, really, really good protagonist. And I do like what we've seen from him so far. And I'm hopeful for what his character can bring in the future. I really did like at the start where he has some cultural differences. Like, for a fact, tying his shoelaces around his shoes constantly. That was a nice little bit of detail they've added to his character. I've liked the brave and the kind of other strong traits and emotions we've seen from the character as well. So hopefully Yugioh just continues being himself and we'll get more delightful things from him. Also, the Galaxy type aren't anything to be sniped at. They're really fun to use. They're really fun to see in a duel. Yeah. Next up we got Yugioh. And honestly, I think Yugioh has been a really good character and they've used him really well. As a former protagonist going into another show where there's a new protagonist, they've used him really well in that supporting role, in not stealing the spotlight too much, but then still guiding the generation that we now have in Yugioh and UTS. So for that, I do think they've been very smart with the writing of the character, and it's always fun to see him come back. Next up, we got Yuhi. Now, Yuhi is a character that I really like. I was going to put him in needs development, but the needs development section is those characters that aren't great, but the development can enhance them. Now, Yuhi is already a really good character. Still not perfect in my eyes, but at the same time, with that development, he can then become an even better character. Next up, I'm sorry, I know I said I was a Mania fan, but we've got a character who I think is better than Mania, and that is Go Yuna. I loved watching Go Yuna's development and progress throughout the Lude arc, seeing her work so hard and showing off that determination, that passion and drive to help get Rovian back by making the fusion spell cards, and seeing her basically all the emotions that we've seen come out the minute. Okay, at the time I'm recording this, I'm about to watch episode 54, and I kind of know what happens in it, but, you know, Go Yuna is still a really good character, and I'm hoping we get a lot more from her moving forward. And next up, we've got the last entry in the best. I said we can only have 5 in there, but that's what I'm sticking with. So Yugioh deserves to go in the best category. He's been one of the best villains we've had from both Sevens and from Go Rush. The way they've used Yugioh's character has been perfect in my opinion. I love all the kind of psychological traits they've given him, with the fact that he died and had to come back so many times. I like the fact that he just wants the best for Volgear, but at the same time his actions can seem a little bit misguided in the way he's quite forceful. If it's not his way, it's the highway. But at the same time, the lengths he's gone to achieve his goals, yes, they are maybe considered admirable at times and over the top and extreme, but we understand where he's coming from what he's using, which is one of the reasons why I honestly think that he is one of the best characters, if not the best, that we've had from Yugioh Go Rush. And I can't wait to see what they do with him moving forward, because I'm intrigued on how they're going to use him, because he's pretty much a good guy now. So it'll be interesting. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the characters. If I had to make any switches, it probably would be to swap Yuumu and Udius around. But at the same time, I feel like I'm happy with what I presented there. Let me know, do you agree or disagree with some of the things I've said, or the characters I placed them in? And let me know who your 5 favourite characters are from the Yugioh Go Rush Season 1. Other than that, hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Like I said, comment your thoughts, and of course I'll see you next time. Have a great day, alligator, matane, goodbye.